This recent episode of Helluva Boss revealed yet another character with a vendetta against the IMP gang, Moxie's own father, Crimson. And with even more bad guys on the horizon, such as Fist from the recent trailer, I think now is a good time to talk about everyone that is after the IMP gang and how they may all team up against them. My name is Impcut, hit that subscribe button, and let's jump into it. The premise of Helluva Boss is that 3 native-born low-level imps from Hell have opened up a business where they go up to Earth and murder humans on behalf of people who were once humans themselves but died and went to Hell. A lot of the people that IMP kills appears to be pretty bad overall, and even though some may be good by some moral standard, Heaven appears to be rather strict with who they actually let in. With that in mind, fans were immediately theorizing about how somewhere down the road, the very people that the IMP gang has murdered up on Earth could eventually come after them if they all end up in Hell. Now, imps and hellhounds are natives to Hell who are not immortal the way that the Earthborn sinners are, so while the IMP gang may be able to easily kill the humans up on Earth, the Earthborn sinners gain the advantage when they manifest in Hell, as they do not experience any sort of permanent death without an angelic weapon. Now, over the last year, it would seem that Blitz and the gang have murdered quite a lot of humans on Earth, with just the partygoers in Episode 3 alone being quite the kill count. Dozens or even hundreds of people at some point can band together to stop the menace that is IMP that tragically ended so many earthly lives before their time. Even if there isn't a massive team-up of all of IMP's victims, I think it would be really funny to at least have an episode where the murder family from Episode 1 comes back to try and get revenge on the IMP gang, and Blitz, Moxie, and Millie will have to face the same sort of terror that this family experienced dealing with someone much stronger than they are. However, while sinners could easily overpower the IMP gang due to their immortality in large numbers, they would not be able to follow Blitz and the IMP gang if they were to run off to any of the other rings of Hell, as according to the Helluva Boss Twitter account, sinners can only exist in the Pride Ring. All of these Earthborn sinners are just hypothetical antagonists, however, and whether there is a massive team-up of villains or not, there are still other people after the IMP gang, so they aren't really safe in any ring of Hell. In fact, the series almost seems like it's creating a system so that the IMP gang will not be safe anywhere. In the Pride Ring, we have the Sinners, but one ring down in Wrath, we have Striker, the assassin hired by Stella to kill her own husband Stolas using an angelic weapon. While IMP is not his target, Stolas is sort of the 5th special member of the squad, and in the end, I think Stolas will end up siding with IMP against all of the people who are after them. After all, IMP has sabotaged Striker's plan once already, and as we can probably guess from the trailer, the next episode will end with the IMP gang saving Stolas yet again from Striker. In addition to wanting Stolas dead, I imagine he has Blitz and the IMP gang on his kill list too. Then, of course, was the most recent episode introducing Moxie's father, Crimson, a mafia boss who feels Moxie has screwed him over, even though he ultimately saved Crimson from having Chaz marry into and further ruin the family's financial situation. Regardless, the episode ended with Crimson first killing Chaz and then throwing a knife at a picture of baby Moxie. Perhaps as the villains start to come together, the first team-up will be of Crimson and Striker, who many fans theorize to be the son of Striker and a loan shark perhaps, or even a snake demon from the Wrath Ring. It would explain Striker's hate for overlords to know he was abandoned by a high-ranking imp who exploits his own people no different than the royals and overlords do. He may want to assassinate Crimson himself, but perhaps on the way to do so, Crimson will instead convince him to kill Moxie, allowing Striker to get paid for something he already wanted to do because Moxie had helped sabotage his plans. Below the Greed Ring, the gang also has enemies in Lust. Veronica has no reason to want to kill Blitz. They're on pretty good terms as far as him betraying her goes, considering she'll still indulge him in bets and such. However, Fizzarelli seems to have dual motives on the horizon. Fizzarelli appears to have had a falling out with Blitz as kids, despite them being best friends at some point. This is foreshadowed as being a violent injury to Fizzarelli, which would explain his robotic enhancements, as well as why his hat is so floppy over his imp horns, which many fans expect to be severely damaged and broken off underneath his jester hat. Additionally, he seems pretty irked about how his RoboFizz was destroyed in addition to Lululand, as he apparently had an ongoing deal with the park to use that robot as a performer, which was making him a lot of money. He says he'd like to know who did it so he can sue them, but after realizing it's the same person who practically killed him as a kid, Fizzarelli might decide that Blitz is just too much of a problem for society in general, and that he has to be eliminated, something he could easily get away with, I believe, considering his connections to Osmodius. While we don't see the gang having any enemies in in Gluttony yet, we know that the missing episode 8 of season 1 was going to take place there. Whenever it airs, I think it will be laying the foundation for a Luna-centric plot wherein she will get to piss off someone enough that they will want to assassinate her, as I don't imagine she will be the only person in the whole group without anyone trying to kill her. Perhaps she'll seduce Vortex, and whoever his girlfriend is who throws all these Hellhound parties will decide Luna has to be stopped. Now, by extension of Stella, it appears we'll also be having Andrealphys wanting to kill Stolas, claiming it on behalf of his sister, but I don't think he will be motivated just by Stolas divorcing Stella. Instead, I think part of what he's gunning for is Stolas' job, as if he were to die, someone will need to take his place. Octavia is the precautionary heir for Stolas, but she does not have Stolas' lifetime of training for where he is at in his studies, and Andrealphys is also a demon associated with the knowledge of stars. As a Marquis, Stolas outranks him, but if Stolas were to die before Octavia finished her training, he might be seen as the suitable person to replace Stolas, something the higher-ups in the Ars Goetia might not mind so much considering Stolas' lack of enthusiasm for the constellations and their prophecies as seen in the Season 2 premiere. They might welcome the opportunity for someone like Andrealphys to take over the job. Now, Asmodeus is also a member of the Ars Goetia, and Stolas being with Blitz at his nightclub was considered scandalous to him. He may begin to develop a vendetta against Blitz for what happened to Fizzaroli, and if Asmodeus is also on good terms with, say, Andrealphys, then all of their interests could align once these various characters connect. Considering that Stolas has given Blitz his grimoire and possibly now an Osmodian crystal to illegally go up to Earth, Stolas and the IMP gang may be seen as criminals in the eyes of the various royals, further aligning the interest of all these parties to have them assassinated. Unfortunately, Earth is not particularly safe either, as while their terrible disguises seem to trick most people, the agents of Dorks are out there and looking to capture the IMP gang, and they've managed to capture their actions all around the world on camera already. If the IMP gang was just living on Earth full time, it'd be only a matter of days before Dorks caught up to them, I think. Additionally, there is the cherubs who were expelled from heaven, a threat on Earth perhaps, and maybe even in hell if they can find a way to travel there. If exorcists are allowed to go to hell every year from heaven and cherubs commercials can air in hell, I think it's very possible they could end up in hell themselves and join the various efforts to get revenge on the IMP gang. We are also only part way into Season 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the series we also got a plot surrounding Millie that gets another cool character or two after the IMP gang. Her brother worships Baphomet or something, maybe that could be a fun way to bring him in, and the Baphomet seem to come from the Sloth Ring, so that could lead to the gang having enemies in that ring, and who knows what other enemies they could make in the Envy Ring before the series ends. I'd love to see Hell become a place where there's nowhere to hide for the IMP gang, to give them a final season maybe where they're just on the run and every episode is going down one ring of hell to escape their enemies only to realize there's nowhere left to hide from their problems. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.